Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the first session of Trainer Diaries. As trainers, people usually see us when we are confident, facilitating a session, asking questions, or standing in front of a room. But they rarely get to see the experiences that shaped who we become, actually. So, Trainer Diaries is our opportunity to pause and hear one such experience. It isn't about perfect journeys or impressive achievements, it is about one real moment that changed the way a trainer thinks, prepares, communicates, or serves. As you listen today, I'd like you to think about one question. What is this story teaching me about becoming a better trainer? With that in mind, I'd like to invite Mr. Dinesh Kapoor to share today's trainer diary. Over to you, Dinesh.
Thanks, Radhika, and good afternoon to you and Satya to you as well. Uh, as you said, trainer diaries, and so I'm going to talk about the mistake I made and how it changed me as a trainer as I am now. So it's it's a bit nostalgic and a good experience to share, rather. And I'll just go back some odd 22 years or something back when I became the trainer very new. So it was like I had a medical transcription training. It was 6 months of the training, just 6 months. And then I worked there for 1 year completely. And I got selected to train the people, and there were new batches. And I became the trainer with a very little bit of information. And I was happy that, okay, fine, I'm a trainer now, I have to train somebody. But when I came to know about who my audience is, then though it was so I was being told that all the people in this training room are elderly you and they are all doctors. And my session was on human anatomy. Being a commerce graduate, can you imagine a person who understands numbers, figures, debit, credit? Now he has to talk about bodies, tissues, cells, all those things. So it was like, for me, it was like, okay, this is my opportunity. I was like, okay, I had to enter the room with the complete positivity. Yes, I can do that. I am the best kind of a thing. So like all those nervousness was like I started preparing endlessly, like reading the books again and again, listening to the articles or something like that. So it was like for me, my classroom. I before I stepped in that session in my room, my journey has started way before that. So I prepared, I rehearsed again and again and again. I don't know, many a times, and I was like all kind of questions. What kind of questions can they ask? Will I be perfect or not? So I was just confused. But finally, the day came and I stepped in. It was a normal introduction round, which went well, fine. And they were also amazed to see that a young boy is there, and they are all the doctors who were retired or someone is not practicing anymore. So they were getting into the job of medical transcription. And I said, okay, fine. And I started, and it was all kind of um, all my preparation was like I was feeling very good that I'm sounding confident though, and I was having cold hands and shivering inside, but I was controlling myself. And then suddenly one person asked a question out of the blue, like, okay. So he asked me about the chambers in the heart and all those things. So
For
I was like, yeah, this is something which I had already prepared. So I gave very confidently the answer, and they were also like, I saw the people smiling, and it felt very good to me. Fine. Finally, I gave the answer, and the people are happy. some of them were just looking, staring at me. I was just noticing around the room that fine, that they are also observing me also. So it is good. And then someone just asked me a question after that, that what happens if one 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 vein is not working, this and that, and the question came in something which I was not being prepared for. That means I know the answer, but the answer was not coming to my, like, I don't know how to answer that because that was not rehearsed, that was not prepared. And so and I just said something like whatever it came to my mind. I don't want it to be silent. I don't want it to be judged. I don't want it to be failed. So that was my perception at that time. So I wanted to be perfect, a perfect trainer for the doctor, so that I get like the accolades of all kinds of things. And yes, this is the person who trained and all this. So, but somehow session went off. 2 hours were gone, and my session was over. But internally, I knew that I had fumbled up, and it is like the session is gone. And for the next session, I was totally prepared in my mind again. That I don't know how many people would turn up, or they'll be reporting or something like that. The feedback would not be very good. And to my surprise, I went in the room. It was a full house again. All the people were present. They were smiling. We exchanged our thoughts. And I came prepared with that answer to that question. I researched. But I learned one thing, that when I was training, the people were silent. But I was not asking them enough questions. So before me entering the room, so that was a learning, first learning which I got there, that actually the training began before me entering the session. And nobody else was judging me, actually. It was me who was judging myself. And at the second day, we were a little comfortable and the things were going on. But and in between, one of the my trainee, I would say, he just said that like he clapped for me, and I was surprised. Like, why clap? Like, either I had said something wrong. Again, I was judging myself. So then he said, no, I'm surprised how a person who has not studied biology and he's training so confidently, and he knows so many things. Uh, Apart from like few of the mistakes which I have made, I agree to that. But that one sentence actually changed my whole perception. That was that spark which I feel a sigh that okay, fine, settle down, Dinesh. Like, people are still listening to you. They are praising you, they're clapping for you. They're doctors, and you are who? Who are you? And so that was the thing which, like, it was for me, it was a registered case for me, that it is who believe, who prepare and prepare. I'm not saying that preparing is bad, but over preparing and judging you by yourself is more it's not creating any kind of a credibility for you. If you want the credibility, then preparation knowledge is required for that. And once you have that kind of a knowledge, and that knowledge builds that kind of a motivation towards trust. So that is, preparation is the first step only. Then building a rapport and talking to them and accepting that you are not perfect is the lesson, the big lesson, which because fear of failure, we all are afraid of failure. So I have told these to my fellow trainers, and in some of my sessions, please don't be afraid of failures. We all fail, and the problem is not in failing. The problem is when you stand after you fail. It's not that you're just keeping your past baggage with you. It's how you're taking those learnings ahead, and you're just coming up and standing up for yourself. So it was that moment which changed my whole thinking. That Dinesh, okay, fine, prepare yourself, prepare better, but rather than preparing, and so it is, preparation is all about teaching, but then as a trainer, my responsibility is something else. I have to serve. So that just teaching knowledge is not what I have to do. I have to serve uh, my audience who are there to listen to me, who have taken their time out to listen to what I have to say about my journeys. And that shaped up my journey, like to ask questions, to make it more interactive, to accept that yes, I don't know and I'll get back to you. So because sometimes what happens, we want to be so perfect that um, we, we we ourselves are judging what we are doing, but without risking. So nobody can build an empire in a single day without risking, right? So as a trainer, we have the skills, but if we are afraid of those fears and self-judgment, self-doubts, so that is somewhere I think we lost the essence of training. So we are also humans, we are also trainers, we can fail. We also don't have answers to each and every query or question. But that one day has actually shaped the whole journey of myself, like how to take the training. I still prepare, I still rehearse, I still talk to just to my laptop in front of the camera. I'll just keep on like how I'm looking on the camera and while I'm speaking. So that is something I do. But I think from the other side, like how the audience will take it, how my trainees will take it, what kind of question would come in. So earlier I used to prepare 70-80%, and now I'm preparing only 20 to 30%. Rest everything is coming out naturally and with the interaction. So the more you interact, the more you say that yes, I'm also learning from you, because when you start learning together as a collaboratively in a single room, when you are with your trainees, with your audience, that is the best thing that you can learn. And that is what I actually call a continuous learning. And so this is the whole story where how one sentence, that one person standing and saying, how can you do that, uh, just changed the whole perception of me, that it was the fear of unknown which is coming to me, and that mistake of me being uh, judging myself by myself. So so it is not to be taken like for all my fellow friends, I would say, who are into training, who are into coaching, that just see the things from the other person's perspective, the empathy which is lacking in us. We try to be perfect all the time, and I don't know. And when we go to spiritual talks, and everyone says nothing is perfect in this world. See, everything has something or the other. So the moon looks very pretty from outside, like when we see from the naked eye. But when you land on the moon, you see the pictures. It's all craters there, no shine, no bright. So you have to decide like what you have to become and how you have to render. Because these are stories. I can narrate multiple n number of stories, n number of learnings. But this was like it takes me back to from where I started. So this is something like even if one person gets inspired with this particular topic or my journey, I would be like feeling very good about it. Like yes, prepare yourself. It's not knowledge is not always like I'm saying it's not bad. You have to be knowledgeable. That is how you can be um, asking yourself and asking others as well. But don't judge yourself. Ask yourself. Don't judge yourself. Fear should be there of not failure, but fear of not delivering the results. Fear of communication, fear of speaking. It all vanishes when you just start doing things that are actually required there in the training room. It's more to solve the purpose. It's not about you there. It's about your audience. So think about them and deliver your sessions well. That is all I wanted to share, Radhika.
Yep. Thank you so much. What do you call? Um, my question to you would be something like I'm curious to know actually. Looking back today, what do you think was the biggest lesson inside that experience which you had?
Okay. So if I look back uh, in those years, um, so now actually, you're asking about a lesson, right?
That you learned.
That I learned, yes.
Yes.
So the lesson was, it is think about others, think about your audience first rather than you. Like if I'm looking perfect or not, that is not the requirement. So for me, the learning is whether I'm able to serve my audience well or not. So that is my learning, which stood by me right now also.
Per-
So that
Perfect.
is one learning.
Okay. So, if I would ask you, like, what is one practice or habit that became a permanent part of your journey because of that particular experience of yours?
Uh, Now the habit is it's not me. It's not about myself. I am the trainer. I'm the facilitator. But who am I? Is has been replaced now. So it's not a spiritual guru. It's not a trainer as per like I'm just preaching about. But today, when I enter a room, there are no shivers. Even for the people, even I've not even met once. So all those preconceived notions, I have shed that. I've just left this. So I'm not carrying that with me whenever I'm entering into a training room or a discussion, or maybe even asking a question, random question in a group. So sometimes some people do that. Like they wanted to ask the question, they don't raise their hands. And I said, okay, whatever. So if I have a doubt, I can ask, right? So when I can do the same thing, my audience will be doing the same thing for me. My trainees, my people who are sitting, who are listening to me, they will be also asking some question. And there is no right or wrong question. Question is a question, and we have to answer it, and it is perfectly all right. This is, I would say, this is perfect to not know. So try not to know everything and not being a master of everything. So it's obviously like this is the best thing which I can tell you.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dinesh, for that. So now I would like to invite Satya to ask a question inspired by today's reflection to Dinesh.
Thank you, Dinesh. It was actually a good situation you shared with us. But I want to know what is the special mindset which helped you in that position? What was the mindset you were having at that moment which helped you to go through that
You're
thing
not
or
that
that situation?
audible, Satya. Could you just put the
Yeah,
mic
so
near you and repeat the question, maybe?
Now, am I audible?
A little bit.
it's bleak. Yeah.
Yeah, Satya, you were saying?
Thank you, Dinesh, for sharing such a good story and situation with us. Just one thing coming into my mind: what made you, or what was the mindset which helped you in that situation?
Yeah. Um, Going back to that situation, Satya, very nice question, by the way. But I must tell you, I was very nervous. Uh, I was having cold hands and I was shivering inside. I was just waiting that 2 hours to be gone away. Like I should just complete. I was having one eye on my clock. Like okay, it's still half an hour left now, 15 minutes left. So I was just waiting for that hour to 2 hours to go, and then I can feel relieved. So that was the mindset that time. But if you talk about like uh, how I'm feeling now after that. So after that, what has changed it? That one sentence that I've told about already. So that told me that we assume people that they are judging us on what we are delivering, but we don't know what is the skill set of that person is. Whether he is mesmerized by the way you are speaking. Some people are, they are doctors, but they don't know how to speak. So they are listening to you very carefully, even if they know the concepts. They will not be asking you questions. They're just observing you, the way you speak. That is more important. What are you delivering? What content? No, it doesn't matter. What matters is the context, the way you deliver whatever you are giving. Either it is making sense. I would have a deck of like 20 slides, but are those 20 slides required in that session? That can be used as a backup. But if I want to talk, I can just talk about those 20 slides without having a PPT on me. So that is the lesson I've learned from that day. And I prepared that well that, okay, if some technical glitch happens, I can keep on carrying on with doing some kind of an interaction or some more things to include and how to interlink and how to make those people participate again and again. I hope I have answered your question.
Yeah, very beautifully. Thank you. It was
Thank
a
you.
quite an insight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Satya. Thank you, Dinesh, for sharing such an honest part of your journey. Every trainer has content to teach, but stories like this remind us that credibility is built through experiences, reflection, and consistent choices. I hope each one of us is leaving today with one insight that we'll carry into our own journey. Thank you, everyone, for being a wonderful audience. We look forward to seeing you in the next Trainer Diaries. It's a sign off from Radhika Gotha. I will see you in the next session. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dinesh. Thank you, Satya.